As you've heard me say about 112 times, I love, and believe so heavily in content marketing. But you may not even know what that means. So because I'm a big proponent in meeting people where they're at and making sure you guys know all the things so you can literally leave my channel and go rule the world, I want to tell you what content marketing is. So we're going to call this Content Marketing 101. Okay, before we get into it, hit subscribe. I want you coming back all the time. By the way, I'm Jessica, if we're just meeting for the first time, and I'm so glad you're here on my channel where I teach you hashtag all the video marketing things so you can make hashtag all the monies. So when I first started my business, I knew that blogging was important. I knew that putting out content was important. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I didn't put a lot of time into it, and it's something that fell on the wayside. And I highly credit that with my business not growing as quick as it could have in the first few years of business. So now in my business, I put out a ridiculous amount of content. Like, I probably shouldn't tell you how much content I put out because it's insane. But basically, I put out this YouTube channel content 3 times a week. So that's 3 days a week. I put out podcast episodes another 2 days a week with my co-host on the All Up in Your Lady Business podcast. I put out content in my Facebook group multiple times a week. So we've already probably used both my hands here. And then I put out content in my newsletter and on LinkedIn and different social media sites multiple times a week. Plus, I'm adding another content piece in a couple of weeks that will be coming out once a week. So I legitimately probably publish more content than I should, but I believe in it so much that I feel like I can't not do that. I feel like I need to do the content. It just works so well. So content marketing is basically the strategy of putting out content and letting the content do your marketing for you. Any business can use this. Every single business out in the world, from product to service to infopreneurs, whatever, can use content marketing and should use content marketing because there's such gold in holding the real estate for search engine key terms and things you want to talk about and things your audience wants to know about. So again, in a nutshell, content marketing is basically throwing all of your eggs into the content basket and letting that market your services for you. And you might wonder how that works. So in traditional marketing, you would, put your money into Facebook ads and your time into Facebook ads or Google ads, or put your time into print ads or billboards or newspaper features or whatever, right? And those have a direct correlation to who comes in and who purchases from you. And then there's also the added piece of word of mouth, right? So you put your services out into the world, you do really well, and people tell their friends about it. That's all kind of bundled into this whole traditional marketing thing. But content marketing is when you put out a lot of free content and it comes back to you with paid money. So let's examine this a little bit. That traditional newspaper piece that you would have put out that was get a free month of my service, that directly correlates to money. So we have a hard time sometimes thinking about how a blog post or a video or a podcast episode might come, full circle and bring you money. What happens is this content you're putting out is acting as the way that people are getting to know you. They don't have to come into your store. They don't have to call you. They don't have to do any of that stuff. Your content is letting them get to know you quicker and in an easier way. Now, in addition to that, it is serving as a way for you to show off your teaching skills and show off your smarts. So I don't care if you are creating a product or service or you're teaching people like I am. If you can show off what's in your brain, people will be like, oh, that person's really smart. I'd love to hire them. And if you have things in place like sales funnels and opt-ins, all of that, you're making money from your free content just like you were from those newsletter ads or that billboard. Okay, so that's kind of the basic principle behind everything. Putting out content and getting it to turn into paid customers for you and using that as your marketing strategy. Now, there are a couple ways to really make sure you're doing this. One is to put out the content on a consistent basis and be consistent and reliable for your audience and the search engines so that they will favor you. Two is to optimize the snot out of your content. If you're using Yoast on WordPress and YouTube and blogging, there is no reason, none, that you shouldn't be high up in the search engine results for whatever key terms you want. So you should be optimizing the crap out of your content to really be using content marketing strategy to its highest capacity. Then promoting your content on all the platforms. So when you have a new video come out on YouTube, it should be being published on Instagram. It should be being talked about on Facebook. You should talk about it on LinkedIn or Snapchat or wherever else your people hang out. But you should be promoting your content, because if you have everything set up correctly, when someone comes to your content, they love you, they want to buy from you, they go down the rabbit hole of figuring out who you are, and they come out the other end a loving and devoted customer. So promote it, because you never know where someone's going to see it to actually go down said rabbit hole. And then the fourth thing is something I've talked about already, is to feed it into a funnel. You don't want just content sitting out there with no purpose or no rhyme or no reason. You actually need a way for people to read or watch or listen to that content, that free content, and eventually pay you. So you got to make sure you have optimized your blog posts or your podcast episodes or your YouTube videos in a way where if someone finds it, they are going to either go down a funnel within the platform. So on YouTube, that might be that they find one video and you want them to go to another one, and then they find another video and go to another one. And at the end of that last video, you sell to them. If that's on Facebook, maybe you want them to watch a video and then you're going to run ads to them to sign up for something, and then you're going to run more ads to them to buy from you. But either way you do it, you have to have a funnel. The traditional way to do this, and the way I like to do it the most, is I will put out my content, I will promote it, I will optimize it, I will make sure people can see it. And then when they watch it or listen to it or read it, they are prompted to download a free thing. So they will be able to get a seat in my free resource library, or they'll be able to get my YouTube guide for businesses or whatever. And they then start getting emails from me where I introduce myself to them, where I ask them to introduce themselves to me, where I'm telling them more about what I do and who I am, where they're really getting to know me even more, and then I sell to them in a really awesome way because they already know me, because I did my work in the beginning. So it may feel really exhausting to put out a lot of content and do all this work to like batch process and whatever, but it's really not that bad. It is one of those things that it's, I'm doing this instead of this other way of marketing, or I'm doing that way of marketing instead of this way of marketing. So I fully believe wholeheartedly in content marketing. It has been amazing for my business, and I'm here to tell you that you can use it too. So are you using content marketing in your business? And if so, how? And let me know in the comments. And then again, make sure you hit the red subscribe button, because I don't want you to miss anything with me ever again. Oh, and also on this screen you're on right now, you can hit my face and it'll tell you to subscribe, or it'll prompt you to subscribe. So, until next time, bye y'all.